Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your magic moon message. This is the Peace Dealer, driving and recording a video. Driving along Fremont, and yeah, the moon is in Taurus. And the sun is in Aquarius. Yup. The 90-degree angle that is being formed in the middle of this transit is getting ready to integrate supernatural energy and knowledge that you have activated about a week ago. I think the beginning of last week, or maybe, give or take a little bit before that. So that presupposes that up until this point, you have been activating energy. So when we have new moons in cardinal sign seasons, we're activating power. By the time we have the cardinal square, we're integrating that power. When we have mutable sign seasons before that, the cardinal sign ones, and then we have like the new moon in the mutable sign, and then we have the square in the mutable sign, we are integrating that perspective, okay? And like we had the new moon in collective Aquarius, right? The elite fixed sign, the highest point of royalty and currency, the highest octave of love, of course, expressed through friendship, right? Now that the moon is in Taurus, we are naturally integrating this cycle. So the seeds that we planted through the new moon are breaking through the ground. And the reason why I like this is because with the Taurian square, these seeds are breaking through the fertile, natural, grounded earth. Okay, especially with Aquarius, which is expressly alien, you activated a new yearly cycle of knowledge and the higher faculties of your mind. If you think that Aquarius is the completion of the cycle that's going to take ideas we activated in the spring, and then by fall we integrated through and harvested through Libra by bridging these ideas. This is like the final knowledge of, what friends, what groups, what communities come around here. So not only have we activated a cycle at this completion point, just like Pisces will be the review, Cap, Aqua, Pisces is completion, but now with the moon in Taurus, we're coming into a natural understanding of how now the new thought process, the new neural pathways, the new knowledge, and now let me just tell it like it is, the new activation of supernatural energy, right? Every year we come into an awareness and understanding of the supernatural, the alien, meaning extra dimensional, outside of the physical, right? Which is the highest aspect of our minds that know. Before Gemini, we speak the word of what's in our minds, right? So the key feature of this year with Pluto is that we now stepped into a 20-year awakening cycle of extreme intensity. Pluto's inclusion here now adds heightened sensitivity at a weird supernatural level. And supernatural is weird. So that's really a great way to look at the next 20 years. Every year during this period, we're going to activate this heightened sensitivity at higher degrees and intervals. This is the first year we've done this in 248 years. So now that we've activated these higher concepts, Pisces is your imagination. This is a abstract concept. It's what you imagine about this higher knowledge. Aries is now fundamental to your identity, but you cannot taste your sense of who you are, right? If I said I am a fish, that's not tangible, right? That's still just an idea. So Taurus is the first time in this transit we're getting physical, we're getting practical, We're getting tangible. I have a nervous system. I can sense, I can smell everything you've activated relative to what you newly know, what you imagine about it, and now what you understand about who you are that reflects this knowledge. Now you're beginning to integrate the values upon which this knowledge rests its home. You do this every year. So what were you thinking? What were you activating? What were you nurturing? What seeds were you sowing through this 0 to 90 degree angle and phase? Because now this is where shit really gets real, quite literally. This is where everything you began to sow is going to begin to integrate. As it breaks through the ground, okay, the moon's going to go eventually on Uranus. And when we have 90 degree angles like this, it's like Jack and the Magic Beanstalk. The moon starts off this Taurus transit squaring Pluto in Aquarius, reminding you of the intensity of heightened sensitivity that opens your brain up more to telepathic influence. That doesn't have to be real. A lot of this telepathy you're hearing are auditory hallucinations, full-blown schizophrenia, and that's how it's going to start before you're actually telepathically talking to anyone. Because once this is over, you can have telepathic conversations with people half across the world from you just by focusing in on their frequency. You do this already. You won't need a cell phone. Like, all pieces of technology are just like expressions of our brain. It's like, it's mocking, it's like trying to replicate how well, we think. All right, maybe that was a hyperbole, but basically, you're not going to just start this awakening just being able to selectively connect with your friend in Japan if you're in America and just have a telepathic conversation, which you already do and some people do purely subconsciously. It's going to start off like you're crazy, like auditory hallucinations. You're going to feel schizophrenic for a lot of the time. You're going to be that because you still haven't finished the construction of the neural pathways. A lot of your brain is breaking through, learning how to do this, like learning to swim or ride a bike. Not everyone's an Aquarius or a Pisces or a master Cancer who's already psychic or supernatural and does this for a living. Like, this is happening at a collective level. We're bringing in a brand new generation with this. So the moon in Taurus is now giving you a natural understanding of how you are beginning to bring together and integrate these higher knowledgeable concepts. I mean, I'm talking about the supernatural. This is the type of shit I talk about as well, and people start thinking I'm a con man or a scammer, but these idiots don't know their moon sign. And if I were to read their chart, it'd be one of the greatest things I would have ever done for them. And yeah, I do got a little bit of attitude. It is what it is. But now you have a natural basis with which to physiologically sense this, because you have physiological senses like taste, smell, touch, sight, hearing. And with Uranus in Taurus, that is what is now activating every 28 days an extra dimensional extension of these physical senses through clairsensing, through just smelling randomly, through hearing stuff that's not even really there, because you're awakening. And this is preparing you for another alien invasion, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. I speak in parable a lot. But yeah, so we activated this cycle like you were making a new track, but it's Aquarius season. So this is like celestial tools. It's like you have all these alien sounds because you're making, you know what I'm saying, like an alien track, let's just say. And relative to that, right, now that you've activated what you want to make this track with, right, all that's left now is to begin to put it together. 90 degrees to 180 degrees, namely moon in Taurus to moon in Leo, is where we begin to integrate. So this is where we're going to now start to put these sounds together because we want to make our beat. We're going to want to perfect this. Moon in Taurus is going to give us grounded footing because of how extra weird and extra dimensional Aquarius is. It's the strongest zodiac sign. It's literally cosmic energy. So your body is the temple of this godly elite energy. and how you really rest. Like, this is going to really test integrity of your personal values, so you have the foundation through which to finally start feeling the supernatural quality of this energy that with Uranus is going to unconventionally innovate the way you start to think and do everything. Because once we finish this transit and we kind of have our balance, boom, Moon in Gemini, we're going to start to understand how to communicate this flawlessly. Like, you thought you could talk shit? The audacity. You thought you were a good shit talker. You thought you really knew yourself. You don't know yourself like you know yourself now. You're going to surprise yourself the next few days. You're going to be talking shit in a way that makes you proud, that you didn't even know you really got it like that, even though you always knew you got it like that. So this is going to give you that natural foundation and like practical, tangible understanding of how you're beginning to take supernatural energy, metaphysical dynamics, and mechanics that you've been told your whole life was science fiction, but you're actually feeling for real. All right. And that's where Saturn and Neptune and Venus and Pisces, that's really in Aries now, is going to now be the anchor that will now also have you tangibly understand elements of your imagination and the causality that follows as a result. If you don't already know, your thoughts indeed are things. That being said, I'm looking forward for the moon on your ass, moon on Uranus. Like, that's going to be epic, especially with the light square, it's making with the sun, and the sextile it's going to have with Neptune, which will now make a lot more tangible fantasies, right? It's not going to actually make fantasies tangible, but your experience of actually tapping into what you believe and how you are already beginning to understand what is tangible about them and what you can build on them. All right. This is going to set up a lot of fun moving forward for you to really take advantage of. And I really do feel like a whole lot of how this prepares for the full moon in Leo when we now start to perform this book. If you remember, this Aquarius season every year, you're writing a book, and by the moon in Leo, you're understanding how to perform it on stage before Leo season where you perform it on stage, right? So the moon in Taurus is you from moon in Leo is, okay, now we've written the book. Now it's time to memorize it, right? So everything that constitutes what you've sown, you've activated. You have everything in place. Now you're going to feel, based on your values, how you want to bring it together. It's going to also sextile Mars in Cancer. So this is going to strengthen a whole lot of how you feel you want to move forward in alignment with your beliefs in Pisces and what you feel you desire now that you can tap in more strongly to these natural senses. Jupiter is direct. Uranus is direct. We're ready. Like, Uranus is going to be in Gemini in August. Jupiter is going to be in Cancer by July. So all gears, everything is ready to move forward before the Venus in Aries and Mercury retrograde. After the eclipse, like, the eclipse is so crazy, guys, that we're going to have a Mercury and Venus retrograde, because now what we begin to think about who we are and what we like has to be reevaluated, because everything we've ever believed is getting ready to be flipped on its head. I've been telling you this for weeks. A Pisces, Luka Doncic, right? I hope I'm saying his name right, is involved in one of the craziest trades in the NBA. And the reason I'm using him as an example is because you're seeing how Pisces is already bringing in these precedents that have never been seen before. Even the basketball player himself don't know why this came through, which is a Pisces element. Like, the answer to the question why, even they don't be knowing. Like, I don't. So, like, I'm using that as an example because you see how people are talking about, whoa, like, we've never seen anything like this. That's how the whole year is about to be. And that's just in the NBA. Everything about everything. That's really the vibe. Like, everything you thought you knew is about to be like whatever. And it's cool because this Aquarius season is preparing you for it relative to what you know about yourself, what you know about everything else around you, what you know you're committed to actually seeing through and succeeding in. So, apply that foundation, integrate this knowledge, the supernatural energy and abilities and power you've activated through Capricorn season especially. You're going to begin to integrate this very practically. So feel it, taste it, smell it, touch it, know who you are, know who you've always been. You guys stay blessed as always. I know I said I wouldn't drive and do this anymore, so I'll make sure I keep to that. Oh, shit. And until next time.